the Talk Birdie Semi with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn and Tour Pro Mark Allen. Live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist, they're the clear number one ball in golf. FootJoy are the number one shoe and glove in golf. Ping, they'll help you play your best. The Golf Clearance Outlet beat everyone's prices. And Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now, from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, it's time for Talk Birdie Semi.
Look at Scheffler. Can you believe what you just saw? Bobby Mack can't.
Well, that is a joke. How can he be that good from tee to green and then chip it in when you desperately need to on 17? He's a freak of nature at the moment.
Yeah, he's not only the best iron player in the world, but he's probably got the best short game as well. He doesn't have to use it much, obviously, because he hits so many greens. But when he does miss, that chip befuddled so many golfers on Sunday, and he just made it look like a piece of cake.
Well, before we get started, because there is that much to talk about this week in the world of golf. It is just ridiculous. Can we please welcome BMW? Thank you for coming on board. A big brand like yours, world-renowned, international acclaim. Wolfgang, thank you so much for your support.
They had a touch of class, as we like to say, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we've got a new segment today to also called The Touch of Class, and I'll be doing that a little bit later.
Nick, you arrived this morning in your X5.
Yes.
You look very, very comfortable in your new car.
He's like a prince.
I feel like a superstar, actually.
Yeah.
Like I'm back out on tour. It is fabulous. And this assisted steering, when you put it on cruise control, wow, unbelievable.
And it didn't have a bit of dust on it either. I mean, you're cleaning it. It's ridiculous. Anyway, well done to you. And don't forget, folks, Links Hope Island, it's filling up pretty quick. I know Corey McKernan, in his Walk With Me Foundation, has made contact. He looks like he's going to buy 3 or 4 groups.
Ooh, brilliant.
So it'd be good to have Corey and his crew there as well. So get on board. Where do they go, Dan? They go to
Go to Links Hope and Wellbeing, Links Golf and Wellbeing website, or on our socials. The link is there too. I tell you what, though, if Corey buys 3 or 4 groups, that's going to pretty much wipe out all the rest of the available tickets.
Yeah.
So if you want to come along, jump on now.
Okie doke. Well, let's get into the business of the week of golf that we just saw. For the second week in a row, Nicholas, we had a European player. This time it was Rob MacIntyre leading after 3 rounds. And a bit like Fleetwood did the week before, we noticed afterwards when he'd talking to the cameras. What was the quote that he went with? Something along the lines of...
Tommy Fleetwood?
Yeah, Tommy Fleetwood last week.
He said, I'd rather put myself in position and fail than not put myself in position at all.
Right, so he said that after the third round before he actually failed, which raised our eyebrow. Well, this week, Rob MacIntyre...
He went the other way, didn't he?
He went the other way, which was, look, it's things you notice. I mean, as soon as he said it, I thought, oh, God, what have you just said? But he played brilliantly in the third round, brilliantly. And he got himself a 5-shot lead. And basically the first thing that he said into the camera was, well, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Wow.
We always say in the team, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of fighting the dog. And I grew up fighting to be in this position.
He said beautifully, not like I just completely butchered it.
No, it's all right.
But
so he was complimenting himself.
Well,
which is fine.
Again.
But it was a big call to make.
When you make those calls.
At least he didn't start talking in the third person, because when you start talking in the third person, like if you get in front of the camera and I go, Nick played good today. Yeah. That's when you know.
Well,
okay.
Thank God there wasn't any of that. But that's something you would say when you have won.
After the tournament, yeah.
You've won and you want to pump yourself up. Well, you save that for the microphone on the 72nd hole. Hey, boys, I'm very proud of myself. It just goes to show you. He's just like, for instance, if he beat Scheffler, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight and the dog. Beautiful. I'll go
Bang.
sign my card and I'll see you after. Right? That's what you say.
Well, that's after round 3. And how did he start round 4, Mark?
Bogey, par, bogey start.
He had a 4-shot lead, and within 5 holes, I think it was gone. Is that right?
Oh, that's right. But to me, you're saying that is just putting a red rag to Scottie Scheffler. What did Scottie Scheffler do on the first hole? Birdie, bang.
Stiffed
The 2-shot swing, all of a sudden it's 3. Before he knows it, 5 holes, the lead's gone.
How sad did he look in that press conference? Oh, he looked broken, didn't he?
He was a broken man.
Yeah.
He was a broken man. But save that. Kids, if you're watching this, third round is not when you go off. When you're holding the trophy, that's when you go off. And also, before you start talking about failing, wait until you failed. It's 2 weeks in a row, Nick. I mean, honestly, you and I, we've been in the media a long time now. You've been an observer of golf for a long, long time since you've finished. I mean, it's just childlike mistakes, I reckon, in front of the camera. And this is part of learning when you're a professional golfer.
Yeah, certainly is. And look, everyone's different. They all have their own style, what they want to say. If you watch the best, like Tiger and Tiger's a great example. He never ever said he played poorly. But even when he had a shocking round, he said, I scrambled great today. I did all the things I wanted to. I got the most out of my round, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
That's it.
It wasn't like, and even when he played phenomenally, he didn't go, I'm the greatest golfer of all time, even though he probably is.
Yeah.
He was always looking forward, thinking tomorrow's next up for me. I'm looking one shot at a time, et cetera, et cetera. It's a bit cliche-ish, but you know what? Those cliches are there because they work for a reason.
Yeah. Now, you might think I'm standing on my soapbox just laughing at these guys, but it comes from experience, right? So let me tell you my story.
Go on. Tell us how good you were.
Let me tell you my stupid story, all right? So New Zealand Open, 1996 or 7 or 8 or whatever year it was, 64 course record in the first round. Playing in the afternoon the next day, it was a 6-club win and I shot 69, and I promise you, Nick, that score was better than the 64.
Right.
It was a better score when you throw everything in.
Yeah, sure.
After the round, the microphone comes in my direction.
Were you in awe of yourself?
No.
No.
But I was thanking my coach. I was thanking my dad. I was thanking everybody like I'd won.
Wow. Okay.
And then I watched it back. I went and had my dinner, and it was on the, whatever show was showing the sport that night. And I watched it, and I thought to myself, mate, you sounded like you've just won the event. I'm thanking everybody after round 2. So, again, I'm only speaking from experience when I have a crack at these guys who are at a totally different level. But those things count, and it somehow goes in the psyche. And then, of course, I've told the story what happened in the third round on the first tee, haven't I, with Michael Campbell and the TV commentator. Well, just for those who don't know, so the next day.
That's a good one, please. Tell us again.
So the next day, I'm on the first tee and I'm leading by four or five shots, right? I'm leading by 4 or 5 shots. Anyway, I'm playing with Michael Campbell, who is, a favourite son. And because they timed it like they do, so the last group is on TV, the normal tee announcer, they didn't put him on the first tee. They sent a TV guy down to do it, who knew nothing about golf. So he said, now with rounds of 69, he's won this, he's won that, he's won the Eisenhower Cup. From New Zealand, Michael Campbell, right? The crowd goes ballistic, all right? They all want him to win. Then it's my turn. From Victoria, with rounds of 64 and 69. He's never held the halfway lead before in his life. Let's see if he can hold it together. I'm telling you, this is what he said. Mark Allen.
Oh, that is priceless.
I shot 76.
Anyway, so you don't know if he was there the next day. Okay.
I've gone from thanking everybody and feeling like I've won the tournament at the halfway mark to shooting 76. And anyway.
Do you put that 76 down to a significant degree to that setup, and that kind of changed your mindset a bit?
Oh, I remember looking at Michael because my mouth was open when this guy was going with it, and he was looking at me through his fingers. Right? He had his hands on his head. embarrassed about the situation.
That is hilarious.
Anyway,
Very good.
hey, we've got a bit to cover.
We got
a bit on today.
You need to rank of 59 at some stage because Sebastian Munoz on the Live Tour
Yeah.
had one of the, there's never been a 59 like it.
No. Well,
And the reason being is he had a double
he had
bogey.
a double
in there.
bogey in the first 4 holes. So
No one's ever had a 59 with a double bogey.
I know. So I reckon we rank this 59. Well, he's my touch of class. Can we do the touch of class? Let's go early with the touch of class.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Driving a BMW is like hitting the perfect shot.
Well, that is pure magic.
You bet it's pure magic. How about that, Lee Trevino and Sevi Ballesteros? If you haven't seen that grab, welcome to golf because that is one of the most classical grabs of all time. So, this Munoz character, not only did he win the event, he ended up shooting, but making a birdie in the first playoff hole to defeat John Rahm. And I want to talk about that situation too in a second because it's ridiculous. But you start your round par. You're not thinking 59.
No.
Then you go birdie double.
Yeah.
Right, 59 is not going to happen.
Last thing on your mind.
Then you birdie 13 of your last 14 holes. 13 of your last 4. Then he had 8 birdies in a row.
Yeah.
And then a par and then finished strong with 5 birdies.
Yep.
That's not the touch of class.
Not the end of it.
In fact, that's just the 59. The touch of class that I am talking about is to start your round the next day after birdieing 13 of the last 14 holes with 4 birdies in a row. 4 birdies in a row. Then I think he went par. Then he made another 2 birdies.
Yeah, he shot 29, the front
Shot
nine.
29 in the front 9. So at one point, so
He was 17 under for 18. Is that what you're saying?
if you count the 13 of 14 to finish his round, and then you count the 6 of the first 7 or 8, I think it's 8. So what's that? He's birdied 19 of 22 holes
Impressive.
consecutively.
Well, if he birdied the first 4, you said, well, then that's 17 of 18.
That's 7. Yeah, it is just
That's insane.
off the charts. Now, quite often, I mean, when we're talking again the touch of class, when you're talking about shooting 59, the old story is that you can never back it up. But that is a world that
That is
I
a
don't
touch of class.
understand.
Yeah.
That is a touch of class thanks to BMW. Then it continues. He goes on to win the thing.
Yeah.
And I think he birdied his last 2 holes.
Birdied his last 2 in regulation. I think Rahm also birdied his last hole.
I think Rahm birdied.
Oh, last 4, sorry.
Might have birdied his last 4,
'cause- Well, he shot 60 in the final round, so 11 under. So we're talking 59s. It was a 12 under 59. It was a par 71, not a par 72. So do we want to rate this now?
Well,
or-
we better rank it.
We better rank it. So par 71.
Par 71, well, you can't get the gold standard, which is level 5.
No. The golf course, there was a 60 because John Rahm shot it. The golf course was on the, I'll say the gettable side because there's a lot of good scores.
That's right. So the only gold standard level 5 59s that have ever been on the Talk Birdie to me scale, David Duval, eagled the last, shot 59 in the last round.
To win the tournament.
To win the tournament.
Yep.
And the very first, Al Geiberger. You guys are the gold standard. Everybody else, we drop a little bit. And quite often, David Micheluzzi style, you might only be a level 1 sub 60 round.
Sure.
And that's okay. Okay. That's all right to be level 1 when we're talking sub 60.
Yeah.
But let's have a think about this because, as you say, it's only a par 71. It was the first round on a gettable golf course, but it is in competition.
True.
And it is the first of a live tournament. I can't remember any other.
No, they've had, I think this is their 3rd.
Oh, okay.
They've already had 59s.
That
in live.
dampens things fractionally.
Okay.
But my question to you is, this is what I've been wrestling with. If you have a sub 60 round with a double bogey, does that enhance the 59 or is that more points off?
That's a good question, actually, because Bogey-free 59s. Well, put it this way. You shoot a 66 and you have a bogey-free card, you're thinking how good you are. You have a couple of bogeys in there and you kind of go like, obviously I made a lot of birdies, but it just doesn't quite sit.
You know what?
So I'm not sure. Yeah,
I'm going to say it enhances it. And I'm only saying it enhances it because the double bogey came so early.
True.
So par, nothing round. Birdie, then a double bogey.
If he'd a double bogey the last for a 59.
You know, some blokes might be going home. Oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right. But so I think it enhances it.
Okay, fair call.
Because of the 13 birdie in 14-hole stretch.
That's impressive.
So I think it enhances it. So I'm going to give this one a level 3.
Okay.
A level 3 sub 60.
Yeah,
so well done, Sebastian. That's pretty good to be level 3.
Yep.
So is the toucher class his performance on the next day or the 59?
No, the toucher class is for round 2.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think 59s, well, they're almost a dime a dozen these days. Now, kids are having them in Stableford comps.
Yeah. Corn
so
Ferry
it's not that big a
Tours,
deal,
having
yeah.
a few. Yeah, exactly.
But to back up in round 2 the way Sebastian backed up and then to go on the winter tournament as well and beat someone like John Rahm in a playoff who, incidentally, while we're here, didn't win the LIV title.
No, he did.
Sorry, he did win a tournament and won the LIV title.
That's right, yeah. So this was the last, what was it?
When does that happen?
It was the last event before the Teams Championship, which is in Michigan this coming week, I think.
Yeah.
And at the end of the year, they have 1, 2, 3 in the individual standings, get a nice bonus, quite a lot of money, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, you would think that someone who has won 5 times on LIV this season, Joaquin Niemann, the Chilean, you would think he would win the individual, but no, John Rahm, who has not won a tournament all year, wins the individual title. Now, he's had 4 runner-ups. I think he's had 2 losses in playoffs. Once has he finished outside the top 10. So consistency-wise, unbelievable. So I would call him the most consistent golfer of the year, but apparently the way the points work and their system, he takes the title.
Well, those points need to be altered somehow.
Maybe.
There should be a technicality that you cannot possibly win the champion LIV golfer of the year if you haven't won an event.
Well, I think what he could win is the most consistent LIV golfer of the year award.
Okay, well,
Maybe.
that's a whole
That's a different award.
That's
That's
a whole different
story.
award. And no one wants that award.
The other,
It's like an anticipation award.
Nobody wants the most consistent. Who
Okay.
cares?
I got to pull you guys out there because 2 years in a row, I won the most consistent player award on the
really?
PGA Tour of Australasia.
Oh,
Yes.
see, that
and they
shows
set pride and place.
Oh, jeez.
that just shows you how we value
I know,
consistency
I know.
because I didn't even know that about you.
Well, you knew my nickname right on tour,
What was that?
Mr. Consistency. So there you go.
Oh, mine, I had a
So
better
hang on, a
nickname for you.
slap from Mark and a slap from Dan.
I called you the human ATM,
Yeah, I know.
which was a much better nickname
Anyway.
than Mr. Consistency. That's pathetic.
But the other thing going on in LIV was we had the drop zone, the relegation. So 5 players got relegated from
Only 5?
LIV. Only 5, yeah. Top 48 secure and then 49 onwards, I think they get relegated. But the funny thing was, the team we'd been following all year.
The Majestics.
So 3 of them, Lee Westwood, Henrik Stenson and Ian Poulter were all in that cusp of the relegation zone because obviously they haven't been playing that well. All 3 are apparently captains too. So they're all co-captains, but they made a new rule where the captains can be demoted now.
Right.
Previous years they couldn't be demoted.
Well,
but
how did they all hang on? Is what
Poulter,
I
I
wanna know.
think, birdied 4 of his last 5 holes to edge out Henrik Stenson, so Stenson got relegated. So the team environment wasn't really playing off there
that
at all.
doesn't
But
sound good.
But the other players, Anthony Kim is gone. No surprises there.
Yeah.
He hasn't
Well, look,
really-
it was a nice experiment.
It
but,
was.
it
It is
didn't
what
really
it is.
pan out. Yep.
The
Well,
other
that only
players.
cost-
Nice way
how
to
much?
put it.
How much money you reckon he made?
I got a feeling they probably
10
paid
US?
him 10 to play, and then
Plus prize money?
he's probably come close to last each week. So
It's 100,000 a week.
another, what's that,
Another
1.5
mil.
or something like that? Another mil,
okay.
yeah, not
Plus
bad.
team. Well, maybe he made 12 million.
Maybe.
I wonder if
poor
Better if they trained a market on Kim surviving.
Yeah, that's true.
Those odds would have been pretty short.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but the other players relegated were Mito Pereira, Andy Ogletree, Yuman Yang, and Frederick Kettrup, who, he's had a real tough season. So the only way he can get back in now, I think, is through the LIV playoffs, and also they take someone from the international series, I believe. So
I had a bit of an idea for LIV golf. I would like to see a Monday qualifying. I reckon they only need How many players they got? 48. I think they are. If they've got 48 players playing a week.
Well, no, they got 50. Well, it's 54 because it's live 54. But there's.
I thought it was 54 holes.
Yeah. However, there's 13 teams of 4, so there's 52, and then they take a couple extras like Anthony Kim and someone else.
Well, I reckon I would like to see 10 qualifying spots a week. So you've got red hot players, hungry players. I reckon they would just give it another leg, especially some of our Australian guys, all right?
Yeah, a lot of players going over there for those qualifiers.
Yeah, that's right.
For that money.
That is absolutely right. And just to follow those players. Imagine if one of those qualifiers comes on and wins and changes their life. It's just another storyline that we don't see. We see the storyline all the time on the PGA Tour. Young player comes through, gets
they're getting rid of that
past the
Monday
nerves.
qualifying now. So
yeah, well, that's a disaster
from
as
our
well.
buddy who we interviewed.
Well, now we've just got to watch
queue.
them come through the Corn Ferry.
Corn Ferry.
So the Corn Ferry is kind of the Monday queue now.
Yeah.
Really, and you follow those stories. I don't know. I think Liv has got room there. I mean, just to have, I would only have 40 players being paid, and then I would have everybody else qualifying. I reckon it would be huge. And you could, because it's only 3 rounds, you could have the Monday qualifying on the Monday or the Tuesday.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's
you could have it on the Tuesday, same course.
Very true.
Have the qualifying.
Yeah.
And see how that goes. Anyway, that to me would be a better system and would be of more interest.
Yeah. No.
Particularly if you had
agree.
a couple of qualifiers. I'm trying to think of a couple of players on our tour. Give us a couple of players. All right. So Max Charles, right? Someone I've got an interest in. Young Max Charles. He goes over, shoots a 64, qualifies, shoots 66. I'm watching in the last round to see what this kid can do.
Sure.
Whether he can change his life.
Well, it can for players like a Max or young players coming out of college or something like that. Over in the US. Absolutely.
That's
It's crazy money. So,
and then, you would like to think that the PGA Tour wouldn't look upon those qualifiers as live players, for instance, unless they took up membership, if they were offered a membership somehow.
True.
But, to pick up 100,000 US just changes everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I would have thought.
Fair enough. On the women's side of things, by the way, the Japanese domination continued. I don't know if you saw, but Aki Iwai.
Is she a twin?
Twin sister,
Yeah.
So the first twins to win on the LPGA Tour, because her sister Chisato also won earlier this year. They're both rookies technically. Aki's actually won 6 times on the Japanese Ladies PGA Tour, but her sister finished 3rd as well. So we were talking about how Japan is coming through a couple of weeks ago. Well, guess what? They are coming in droves. So very impressive.
All right, very good. The other thing that I watched, and I've had it penciled down here to talk about, was the US Amateur. Now, Mason Howell beat Jackson Harrington,
I think it is.
Harrington, thank you.
7 and 6.
A left-hander.
Yeah.
Strong as a bull.
Who beat a Scottish guy in the semi-finals who was apparently like a cult hero.
Well, he grew up playing golf around the corner. His mum got a job with Google and moved to the Bay Area. And he played at a little muni course, and all those kids were coming across the Golden Gate. Well, not kids, they were full-on, fans of this kid. So they came across the Golden Gate, and it was pretty rowdy, and it was fabulous. He got rolled in the semi-final.
Semi-final, yeah. I also saw John Daly's son, John Daly II, was in the quarterfinal.
That's
and
right.
Then
He
got
did well.
rolled. So.
He did well also.
Isn't that great?
Anyway, that's the reason I know all that is because not the US Amateur, because I was having a look at Olympic Golf Course, which is a US Open venue. Did you play that year?
I haven't played a US Open. I have played a practice round there. I told you the story, I think, in a previous pod where I was playing a tournament in San Jose. I went to the baseball, and then after playing Olympic in my golf gear, was it the best idea, rocking up in your golf gear at a baseball game in Oakland?
They would have laughed at you.
Possibly the roughest town in the US. But I loved the golf course. Very hilly, very, you walk off feeling one leg is shorter than the other because you're on side slopes all day long, and a beautiful facility, incredible clubhouse, and that iconic sort of short par 4 up the hill, the last, where if you remember, who was it?
It was,
I think Payne Stewart won there.
Yeah, but it was the guy with the long putter.
That was Webb Simpson.
Webb Simpson?
No, I'm talking way back. No, actually,
way back.
Payne didn't win there. It was Lee Jansen. Because,
Lee Jansen,
because I think the green was a bit funky on that US Open way back in the late 80s, I think. So anyway, another story.
So the whole point of this is I wasn't watching the US Amateur to see 18-year-old Mason Howe win 7 and 6. I was watching for that golf course. Now,
Well, the other good thing was we had match play too.
and we had match play. Now, this is the point I want to bring up. Now,
Okay.
the Australian Amateur Championship,
Yes.
which, was one of the great championships that we had in the country, is now a stroke play event.
It seems every other, like the British Amateur, the Canadian Amateur, where Declan O'Donovan won,
Yeah.
the US Amateur,
Yeah.
they're all match play.
Well, look,
What's going on?
Well, it's blah. I mean, it's blah. Who cares? Who cares about it?
Why did it get changed? Do you know?
I imagine it had something to do with cash.
Okay.
I imagine. But here's the thing. Why wouldn't we, if you're not on the Australian Open rotation,
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't that be a postcard to the rest of the world?
Oh,
Why
yeah.
wouldn't you be playing our Australian Amateur? And we know Golf Australia likes to get everybody involved. So why wouldn't you have both Australian amateurs on at the same day, package it up and send it right around the world at one of our great golf courses? Does anyone think like that at Golf Australia? Or are we just stuck in, let's have 4 rounds for the men and the women, no one even cares?
Well, maybe they're already playing it at really good golf courses. I'll have to look up the list.
But I'm talking about golf courses that would pique your interest
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
in the country. Now, I don't want to give too much away because my top 5
Yeah.
a little later is my top 5. Let me just make sure it's right. My top 5 Australian Amateur Championship venues that would look amazing on TV in other countries
Okay.
and would be like a postcard. Well, it's another reason to come to Australia.
Is there
Bring
a-
your sticks.
Is there a Tasmanian course on your list?
Yeah, there will be. Maybe a Tasmanian course that hasn't been opened officially yet.
There you
So
go.
look, to me, and like you've been in this golf commentary, I've seen how it works. They could package something up really well, and the broadcast of the US Amateur, it didn't have all the bells and whistles of the big one,
Right.
but it just didn't matter.
Okay.
It
Yeah, I
didn't matter one bit.
I didn't see it. I was reading about it.
They were having a look at their TikTok pages, and in between
that's
shots,
great.
they were showing what the kids are into, and it was. I mean, I watched it for an hour, fast forwarded it through in the end, and saw who won.
Oh, that's good.
But I just wonder about where we're headed and whether doing stuff on the cheap is the best way forward and in the best interests of not just the amateur championships, but Australian golf. We've got so much to showcase here in this country, here in this part of the world, so much amazing golf that we could showcase to the rest of the world. And I just feel like, hang on, if we do it this way, how much money do we save? Yeah, okay. Tick. Let's get rid of 100 years of tradition and let's save $50,000 or $100,000 or whatever the hell it is.
What I am looking forward to in a couple of weeks, though, is the Walker Cup. Because you know where that is?
Oh, where is it?
Cyprus.
There we go. So there's another great example. I
Cyprus.
didn't know that, but
Yeah.
now in one sense, I'm excited for the Walker Cup.
Yeah. I know I'll be watching that one. And if for all our golf enthusiasts out there, I know our listeners love their golf, but
I'm watching.
it's in my top 3 golf courses in the world.
Yep.
It is spectacular.
I just want to see matches finished on the 16th.
17th.
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 No, 16th is the par 3.
Yeah, I know, but
The
17th is
17th,
one of the
17th 's
great
on
par
the-
4s as well.
yeah.
I mean, 18's a good hole, but it's not like the
Don't say it's an
previous.
ordinary hole. It's a good hole, 18 at Cypress Point. All right, well, let's take a break. We'll come back with my top 5 Australian Amateur Championship venues that the rest of the world would love to see on TV.
I like it.
Looks good, man. Dude. Are we in slow motion too?
From Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, this is Talk Birdie Simi. Ping will help you play your best. The golf clearance outlet beat everyone's prices. And Better is the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now, for Titleist, the number one ball in golf, and FootJoy, the number one shoe and glove in golf, is Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen.
Okay, before we get into this week's top five, you quickly just had a look at the history of the Australian Amateur, the men's side anyway. Over 110 years of match play results.
About 1908, I think, is when it went fully match play. Before that, it was a bit of stroke, but 2020 when it went to stroke play.
And I can't remember one of the last four, but I can remember plenty of the finals. Plenty of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in my book, it's a wrong turn. Everyone makes mistakes. Let's get back to it as soon as possible. Let's get to this week's top five.
Top five. The top five for Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia.
Top five.
Okay, this week's top five is future Australian Amateur Championship match play venues for men and women that would make people from overseas want to travel here if they saw it on TV.
Okay.
So that's the longest title for a top
the longest top five
that
heading I've ever
that
heard.
will not fit into a Twitter post.
That has ever been. Now, to make this work, we've got to go to all parts of Australia and play on all kinds of golf courses. So that means we've got to get a Queensland golf course in there. And my suggestion is, of course, Links Hope Island, where we will be going, and hopefully we're going to see plenty of you soon.
Of course.
World-class course. And you'll just see the pictures on the TV. You'll want to visit the Great Barrier Reef. You'll go to the Gold Coast. You'll go to Noosa. You'll do the whole lot. But you'll be watching some excellent match play on Queensland greens, and maybe, just maybe, a Queenslander will get up because there's so many good players up there. At number 4, I want to say, all I've heard is good things about this joint, Royal Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
Now, some people say it's the best club in the country. Now people are saying that it's got a course to match.
Wow. Okay.
So could you imagine the advertising? You know, you're going to see the Harbour Bridge, you're going to see the Opera House, you're going to see Bondi Beach.
You got the bay there next door.
And you're going to see the new Royal Sydney.
Yeah.
And the men and the women battling out in a nice package.
I've
Fantastic.
heard there's like 3 or 4 of some of the best short par 4s you'll play.
Yeah.
So
I'm keen to get up there and have a look. At number 3, Matty Goggins, 7 Mile Beach down in Tassie. It looks spectacular on all the pictures. It's got a bit of Tara Edie about it. Puts Tassie on the map, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. Tasmanians down there. You know, people who already know about Barnbougle and King Island and all the others. It would just be so easy to package something up, a little 2-hour packaged up special, and we see who the 2 Australian Amateur champions are not long after. At number 2, this golf course is the best looking golf course on TV that we have in this country.
really?
Peninsula Kingswood.
Oh, yeah.
Can you remember when the girls played there?
Yes.
It's like the Skills Challenge.
The Athena.
The Athena.
That's right.
No course I have ever seen looks better than Peninsula Kingswood on TV. And if you haven't played Peninsula Kingswood, folks, put it on the list because it is a spectacular venue.
36 holes too, which I think the way they've been doing it with, well, you can actually have the stroke play event there if it's not match play as well. So
yeah, that's right.
That's the way they've been doing it, having 36.
Just on this, you know, I would have all the other...
Actually, how would that be for the final? It's 36 holes. You play... The first 18 is the north, the second 18 is the south, or vice versa.
Whatever.
How good would that be?
It would be sensational. I mean, it'd be a great way of doing it. So Peninsula Kingswood at number 2. And at number 1, this golf course does not get enough recognition, and I'm going to go over and play it pretty soon. I'm talking about Royal Adelaide.
Oh, yeah. Well, it didn't make our friends top 100
That's right.
in the world.
That top 100 is off the list, except for that Kingston Heath being at number 17.
No
the rest of
respect.
it, don't pay any attention to. But Royal Adelaide is one of the most gorgeous places to play golf in the country. Now, it's not going to get too many Australian Opens, I don't think, in the future, the way things are going. But it deserves recognition and for the rest of the world to see this joint. You know, the train going through the middle of the course, the little funky third hole.
So good.
The crater hole.
Yeah.
Then there's a hole that's a crater.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so good. And not enough people see it.
I was thinking about the train that goes through the middle of the course there.
Yeah.
How many courses around the world have a train line going through them? Is there any others?
Well, there'd be plenty in Britain, I reckon.
I know Wentworth has one on the side.
Yeah, on the side. There'd be enough.
There'd be a few.
There'd be enough. A beautiful little quirk like that.
Yeah.
There's always that story that, on the second hole, somebody snap hooked it went into the train, and the person got the ball and threw it out the window back on the course, and it ended up on the fringe of the par 5. The second's a par 5, folks. So there's always that crazy story that I hear all the time. Anyway, just an idea, Golf Australia. It's not too late to reverse up, change tact, and do what we think is correct.
Well, that's a cracking top 5 for Better. They are the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. And if you haven't checked out our multi, let's not go over it again now. No. However, what we can say is if you're a Scheffler fan,
yes,
and if you rate him,
it's right up your alley.
Yeah,
right up your alley. And we are due, Nick.
We're so
due.
So just go to the Better website or download the app and look for Better specials. You'll see Talk Birdie there, and you will see our multi.
All right. Well, you don't have to play the music if you don't want to. Let's get to the Ping Global results.
Well, I think we do want to.
Breathe out, mate. It's okay.
Come on. In with anger, out with love, Mark.
In through the nose, out through the mouth.
In with anger, out with love. The Ping Global results, because Ping will help you play your best. Nick, what do you got for us today?
All right. And in honour of our recent sponsor on board, we had the BMW Championship on the PGA Tour. Second week of the FedEx Cup playoffs, where Scottie Scheffler, as we know, 2-shot win over Bobby MacIntyre. Third was Maverick McNeely, and then Tommy Fleetwood and Sam Burns tied for fourth. So very good for their Ryder Cup sort of chances there as well, playing nicely, especially for Burns, because he needed to move up the list a little bit.
Hey, just on that, we failed to mention, especially with BMW coming on board, Minwoo Lee announced to be playing in the BMW PGA Championship of Australia.
Yeah, later in the year. Can't wait to see
Good
him.
on you, Minwoo. Thanks for supporting our tour. We appreciate it.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of chef's hats out there, no doubt. So that'll be fun. We had one person come inside the top 30 for the Tour Championship this week at Eastlake, and that was Harry Hall, who made a big move, 45 to start the week to 26.
That's a huge move.
Very impressive.
Apparently he's the best putter on tour in one of the stats.
Really?
I'm not sure which one, because there's the putting strokes gained, there's putting.
They have a few.
When you hit the green, how many putts you had after you've hit the green in regulation, and then there's just number.
Right.
I'm not sure which one he leads, but he leads one of them.
Okay. Yeah, well, he's made a heck of a run, and he hasn't really been spoken about with the Ryder Cup. So he said, I think during the week, no one's approached him about being fitted for a uniform, which if you're one of the contenders, so it's kind of saying, sorry, Harry, but you're not going to be playing the Ryder Cup.
Is he on good terms with the captain,
I don't know.
Luke Donald?
Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So he came in and one player went out, which was Lucas Glover, and it was also a bit of a show towards the end there with Michael Kim. He bogeyed 17, unfortunately, which meant he went outside the top 30. He was right on the mark at 30 and finished 31st.
Yuck.
Akshay,
top 30 gets you a lot of stuff.
It gets you a lot of stuff, especially a lot of cash. And Akshay Bhatia, he was 4 over through his last 7 to finish on 30 on the number. So he was doing a bit of gagging coming down the stretch there. So of the Aussies or Australasians.
Who was the player in the last round who started his round triple bogey, double bogey, bogey, and then shot 69?
Go on. I have no idea.
The guy who wears the glasses. And he had a win. He had a win recently. You do that, I'll get his name.
Okay,
continue.
I'll keep going.
You
right. I didn't see that one. Jason Day finished tied for 23rd, but he finishes his season 41st on the points list. And Ryan Fox finished in 43rd position, which is exactly where he finished on the FedEx Cup. So come back to me when you have it later on there, Mark. Live Indianapolis, where Sebastian Munoz, as we mentioned, had a first round 59, defeated John Rahm in a playoff, who shot 60 the final round. Incredible effort. The 1-2-3 in the individual, as we mentioned, John Rahm took that for the season, beating Joaquin Niemann, who actually had 5 wins. Can you believe he didn't take the individual title? Amazing.
No.
Bryson DeChambeau was in 3rd spot. The team, unfortunately for Ripper, it was probably one of their worst weeks because they finished last. Cam Smith was 14th, Lucas Herbert 45th, Matt Jones 47th, and Mark Leishman 51st. And they will go into the teams event this coming week, I think, is the 6th seed. So hopefully Team Ripper will do a bit better than their last outing.
Ben Griffin,
yeah.
You know what he said he did?
What do you do?
He takes a little bit of creatine before he plays every round of golf. And by the way,
Hang on, creatine.
yeah, creatine.
Okay.
And by the way, I hear kids are doing this in year 12 to study better. It
Really?
helps, yeah.
Oh, it
Bit of
helps
creatine.
focus. I thought it was
helps
for
focus.
a bit of muscles.
Well, it probably does that as well, but apparently it helps focus. Anyway, Ben Griffin, in his words, he swallowed a big rock of creatine before he hit off and he got dizzy.
Maybe not the best thing. It's like having
dizzy.
It's like having a triple shot latte or something.
He got the shakes.
Wow.
And he had a triple on the first.
I saw he 4-putted the first from 3 feet
That's
or something.
it. A double on the second, a bogey on the third, and then shot 69.
And then the creatine kicked in. Wow.
Anyway, well done, Ben.
Oh, my goodness. On the LPGA Tour, I mentioned it earlier, Aki Iwai from Japan had a 4-shot win over Gurleen Kao from the USA. Her sister Chisato Iwai was in third position along with Lynn Grant. Of the Aussies, we had some good results. Grace Kim was 5th.
Nice.
Excellent. Our own Cassie Porter, Ping's Cassie Porter, had 66-67 on the weekend for tied 11th.
Good on you, Cassie.
Robin Choi came home in 65 for tied 13th, and Gabby Ruffles tied for 35th.
Well, that is fabulous results.
Doing really well.
Yeah.
On the DP World Tour, they had the Danish Golf Open. I watched the end of this where, unfortunately for all the Danish home fans, the Englishman Marco Penge ruined it for him.
Oh, that's no
because
good.
Rasmus Højgaard was their man. He took a lead into the final round, but started off poorly, but needed to eagle the last and did. And then Penge holed about a 4-footer for the win for birdie. So another great result for our own Elvis Presley.
BMW's own.
Yes, BMW's own Elvis Smiley.
Good on you, Elvis.
I was going to say Presley for a second. Tied for 6th. So well done to him. And Jason Scribner tied for 12th. So good result there. Brad Kennedy did well over in Japan. He was tied for 6th. And I just wanted to mention this, the ISPS Honda Explosion in the Summer event.
The Explosion in the Summer event.
That's what they call the tournament, where Kazuki Higa got the win there. So
he exploded.
He did explode. On the Epsom Tour, Jess Whitting, West Australian, tied for 19th. Well done to her. That was won by Erica Hara. The Champions Tour, how can we go past this?
We haven't even mentioned
We
it
haven't
yet.
even mentioned Richard Green. 5 runner-ups, finally gets the win.
Isn't that fantastic?
How good for Green.
So we had a win last week with Stevie Allen.
Yeah.
Now we've got a win this week with Richard Green.
Unbelievable.
Just sensational, guys.
Sort
And,
of final round 65 too, and was playing with Miguel,
yeah.
the international man of mystery, and it was just a brilliant win. He had a 1-shot win over Argentina's Ricardo Gonzalez.
Can you remember when Richard Green won in Dubai? It might have been a little bit before your time. Can you remember who he beat in the playoff?
He beat Greg Norman and
Ian
Woosnam.
Ian Woosnam.
There you go.
Little
Yeah.
Richard Green. You know, I
Who
think he'd
would have
only
thought?
been pro for about 2 or 3 years. Dubai Desert Classic was so big back then, and he was in the playoff with those two and beat them both in the playoff.
It was crazy. It really was.
Crazy at the time. Anyway, well, congratulations, Greenie. You're a star.
that was
Another one on the list. Put him on the list, Dan. We've got to get to Greenie at some stage.
All right.
Big win by Greenie up in Calgary. The other Australasians, Mark Hensby and Steve Walker, tied for 5th, and Stuart Appleby tied for 13th. Well done to Stewie. Locally, well, not quite locally, but with our Challenger PGA Tour of Australasia kicked off in Papua New Guinea, where Corey Crawford shot a final round 7 under bogey-free 65 for a 4-shot win over 5 players. It's his second Papua New Guinea title, 3rd of his career on tour, so well done. They also had a women's PNG Open going on as well, where Amelia Mehmet-Gron had a 2-shot win over Catherine Norris. And lastly, as you mentioned, the US Amateur, Mason Howell defeated Jackson Harrington 7-6.
Did you see at PNG there was sort of a little bit of Donald Trump action happening in that tournament?
What do you mean?
The Papua New Guinea Prime Minister decided to play.
Oh, okay.
He shot 97 in the first round.
Okay. So the caddy didn't help out. Is
No,
that
no
okay,
helping.
right.
They were on the wing.
Right.
Right from the start. But I think that's fantastic. You know,
very good.
How good is that? That the Prime Minister is probably the one flipping the bill. He says, "Yeah, I'll do this, but I want to play."
Yeah, why not?
Of course you can.
course.
Fantastic. What a dream for so many. Time for
boys,
some feedback.
Ready for some feedback?
Yep, you bet.
Okay, the feedback thanks to Southern Golf Club, because the feedback on that joint is off the charts lately.
Talk Birdie feedback. Thanks to Southern Golf Club.
A lot of feedback on the interview with Stevie Williams about
good.
Tiger
Right.
a couple of days ago. How good was he? Just fantastic.
So
wasn't
good.
he?
Yep.
Really open, great stories.
Yep.
What was your favourite story that he told about Tiger?
I liked hearing how he and Greg Norman would
I was gonna
wait.
say that.
Yeah, would wait.
Yeah,
that was good.
Until the last minute to walk on the tee, get the huge round of applause that always comes their way,
Yeah.
and just thinking about being Nick O'Hearn on the tee, or if it was me, I would have wet my pants, I reckon, hearing it all.
I remember the first time I played with Greg was at the Australian Golf Club, and I'm standing there waiting in the third round, and there's crowd everywhere, obviously, and we're playing a 2-ball, not a 3-ball.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like Moses parting the Red Sea. And you see the Akubra hat coming towards you, and you go, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah.
So,
Showtime.
What was your favourite Tiger story from the Steve Williams chat, Nick?
oh, I probably the fact that I like the little side hustle stuff that he used to do, where you know, if you can birdie the next 3 holes or something like that, well then you know, it's a bit here or there. So I don't mind those sorts of stories. They're always a bit of fun. Breaking up rounds like that is really important when you're playing a 72 holes, because otherwise it just seems like it's such a grind.
Oh, I was going to say, in a strange way, those little side bets would freshen up tournament golf just a little bit.
It does.
You know, take your mind off where you are.
Yeah.
And okay, I can beat this guy.
Yeah.
I can do that. You know, I think in a crazy way it would freshen things up in the right manner.
So do you guys reckon, you know, we've had from time to time a question from Wolfpackers about how do I maintain focus, or I get nervous when I'm in a competition. Yeah. Do you think maybe people could take a lesson from that and say, well, maybe I might make a bet with my partner for $5 on making par or hitting the green.
Yeah, even giving yourself just a little challenge. Okay, you know, you've just had, let's just say you've had 22 points. You know your golf's turning around, and you've had 22 points on your front 9. So instead of standing on the 10th tee and going, geez, I hope I can keep this going, maybe just think to yourself, okay, I want to hit 3 of the next 4 fairways, and I want to hit 3 of the next 4 greens, and we'll go from there. Yeah. And all of a sudden, instead of focusing on the big goal, which is to have 44 points, you're focusing on a little goal that will get you there. Okay, let's just hit this fairway. Let's just hit this green.
Aim small, miss small. That's it. That's the best way to do it in this game. Whereas if you look at the bigger picture, and that's when you start to freak out, as you say.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
So a lot of feedback on that pod with Steve, which was great. Here's a couple of comments. Damien Carroll has said, I would love to relive that era as though it was the first time. Steve and Tiger were very special, which they were.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
You Beauty has said, interesting watching the video of Tiger's ball drop on the replay. This is in the video version on YouTube. He said Steve got a bit emotional. He seemed very organised and very across his tasks, but not surprising, he was emotional.
I think when you see, well, for Steve, for example, you almost relive it in a way when you see these things. I mean, every now and then I'll see maybe a highlight, and I'm almost back in that moment, and then you start feeling the same emotions because you feel like you're there again. Yeah, and that's probably why. It probably happens to him a lot. Yeah, because there were so many of those moments.
I don't want to say his time with Tiger defined Steve Williams, because it didn't. No. You know, there was a long climb to get to being a phone call from Tiger. But kind of looking back, it's hard not to just have those two guys together.
Comment from Paul Maloney, who we had obviously on the pod last week. Paul has said, like all good caddies, and Steve clearly agrees, the importance of giving confident and definitive advice to the player is paramount. That's one of the reasons why Steve was so successful. He stuck to his guns when he was put on the spot.
Yep, and did his homework though. You know, he did his homework in those situations. He was on the golf course watching putts. He was listening to the local pro who'd say, this putt, it doesn't break. It looks like it breaks, but it doesn't break. Yep. He did all the little things that you know, a lot of caddies would never even think of.
And what a caddy says to their player before they walk into the ball, that is so important. Because if you're a bit vague, then the player goes into the ball a bit, oh, hang on. You know, they're a bit of indecision, whereas he said, no, we're doing this. And it helps the player so much.
Yeah, I used to, like a lot of the caddies I had coming through, and you had Wilbur, who's obviously a gun, but sometimes you'd have to teach them what you'd like.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and I used to always tell them, I said, just pick a target for me and I'll tell you what I'm working on before, and just keep it simple. So, you know, they'd say, you know, that just 10 foot left of that tree, of the you know, Norfolk Island pine tree, and just come smooth swing.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's
perfect. Yeah, I used to get Wilbur to just say to me, commit to the routine.
There we go.
And that was, beautiful. And then I would lock in on my process. So that's very simple.
All right, message here from our anonymous friend who we're still not totally sure who is, the Mad Greek. Oh. I've had the pleasure of playing around with Dave Eager, the guy who called out Tiger for his incorrect drop on the 15th at Augusta in 2013. Dave said to me, if he had known how big of a controversy that would be, he probably wouldn't have done it. But Tiger should absolutely have been disqualified that year, according to the Mad Greek.
Right.
Yes, well, according to 200 years of golf, if you sign an incorrect scorecard, then you can't play anymore.
Yeah.
Unless you're Tiger Woods, said Augusta.
Yeah. Kine has said, that was brilliant. Great insights from Steve. Question, how would Rory fare with a tougher caddy like Steve?
He'd be better, in my book.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Yeah, he would be. Oh God! If Steve Williams could pick up Rory's bag now, well, it's funny to say that because maybe personality is great on each other. You just don't know.
Yeah.
But if the personality situation could work, can't just be average. It's got to be good, doesn't it? You can't. You've got to have a great relationship.
You do.
Personally, working relationship. So if that could be great, the personalities, I have no doubt Steve Williams would make Rory McIlroy a better player. No doubt.
Now, I've got a message here from Andrew. Andrew, maybe listened to the pod about half an hour ago, because Andrew said, watching the golf, what an entertainment contrast highlighted by the commentary. The BMW Championship was a war of attrition, with the international commentary making it more boring. It could have been awesome. Liv, Indianapolis, on the other hand, this is what he's talking about with us, was a birdie blitz with multiple scenarios in play.
That's true.
And improved by excellent coverage with plenty of golf and great commentary. I'm a fan of Liv. However, he must have been listening. They need to review the point system. Rambo winning the season without an individual win is just not right.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
That is strange.
It doesn't make sense. Do you know, this week at the BMW, I had watched it with the volume turned down from go to woe. I didn't. I thought they were about to say that the old commentary was back on or something.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't listen to one thing. I just watched it without. I actually had the radio going while I was watching the golf. That's where I'm at with the international feed.
Well, I watched the also just to catch back up on it, the KO Mini, because you said you get the proper, the US. No, you don't. You get the international feed.
You got to watch the YouTube Mini.
Oh, the YouTube Mini.
Yeah, the YouTube. The KO Mini will be just our Mini.
Right.
But the YouTube Mini.
Okay.
PGA Tour YouTube, it's called something else.
Okay.
Mini. You'll get the real stuff.
Right.
Shane McGuinness has said, Paul Maloney has always been one of the nice guys on the Aussie Tour. I played the occasional Pro-Am with him back in the day. He is such a great bloke, which is correct.
Good fella.
Paul Carrigan, gents, do you think players turn an eye towards Liv when they see the US PGA Tour free-riding Ricky Fowler into sponsor exemptions, as you spoke about last week? I read Mark Hensby saying that he once asked Davis Love III about the imbalance in the way the rules were applied for US players sometimes, and Davis Love said to him, the stars drive the bus. Doesn't seem right when the wheels get greased for blokes who've been playing like a busted ass.
Well, look for who is our Under Armour guru. What's his name? Spieth. I reckon
Jordan Spieth.
Yeah,
He'll be getting plenty of invites next
Jordan
year.
might be there next year. Look, I do think you've got to look after the poster boys, but not so lopsided that you're basically holding their hand into the top 50. I don't think that's right. I think there should be a minimum, a maximum. There should be a maximum.
Maybe 2 invites, something like that. I think they're getting 4 or 5 at the moment. And look, I think even Adam Scott got a benefit of a couple, maybe the previous season or something like that. Brant Snedeker.
2's great.
And they sit on the the policy board and things like that. Yeah. So there's a bit of give and take here and there.
But if you're a poster boy or a poster girl, the occasional favour helps the world go round. Totally. It makes the world go round. So, but you can't give them 7.
Last bit of feedback. This is a little bit of a gentle whack for a member of this podcast.
Oh, you poor thing, Dan.
Jeff Pierce has written in. Hello, Mark and Nick. I love the show. I look forward to it every week. However, I took offence at your bagging of iron covers.
Is this a confession? This is a confession. This isn't feedback.
I love my iron covers, and the reason I have them is that I have a remote control buggy, and the covers stop them from rattling when on rough ground and protect my investment. Keep up the great work. And he's got a smiley face there, so he's not really a whack. He's just having a bit of fun.
Very good.
But this seems like a reason why you might have them.
I totally understand it. Yeah, I a couple of my good friends use iron covers as well, and I love to rib them about it every time I see them. Well, the funny thing is every now and then, they'll pull it out, put it in their pocket, or they'll put it somewhere else, and sure enough, usually one's lost by the end of the round. So,
what's the Wolfpacker's name?
That is from Jeff.
Does Jeff still have the plastic on his couch? Is he one of those guys? Is he?
You're harsh.
Well, I'm just asking.
I think we should apologise to Jeff after that
I'm not apologising. No way.
That's the feedback for this week. Now, before we go to the masterclass, I've been thinking about how we haven't had one of our multis come off.
Yeah.
One of our better multis.
Yeah.
And I'm always the person who says there's no guarantee. If you can't afford to lose it, don't bet it. Yada yada yada.
No, we are due.
I feel okay about this one. So should we go through again what it is?
Yeah, go on quickly.
Okay. This is for this weekend. Scottie Scheffler to beat Rory McIlroy, JJ Spawn, Tommy Fleetwood, and Justin Rose, all by 5.5.
That's right.
And it's paying $7.
I think it's good value. I don't think those four guys are in form at all at the moment. JJ finished all the way down. Rory's not the same Rory we know. And Scottie Scheffler loves this joint.
So, he does. Well, I'm thinking about last week's results. It might have only been Tommy Fleetwood who was close to him. So the rest of them were well back.
So let's just say he wins by 3 shots. That just means that none of these guys finish close. And I don't think they will. I think it's a fantastic bet.
We are due.
And we are absolutely due. So thanks, Hummer, Richard Hummerson from Better. We appreciate it. But I think you're going to lose a lot of money this week.
So $7 is slightly shorter than typically they've been, but that's because this one's got a significantly better chance. So Scheffler to beat Rory, JJ, Tommy and Justin Rose by 5.5. Go to the Better website or download the app. It's the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Just search for Better Specials, search for Talk Birdie to me, and we are there.
Beautiful.
Masterclass, who's doing it this week?
That would be me, and it's to help all those golfers out there because you watch the tour and you see all these players just lash at it all the time. That is the worst thing we can all do, I think, as more not social golfers, but with club golfers. Even myself, I know when I go at it hard, I really struggle. So this one's a good little tip about how to just take your time on the backswing.
Okay. Bit of sequence.
A bit of wait for it.
Nice.
Put it that way.
All right. Well,
and you're going to have to wait for it now.
That's coming up next.
We all play our best golf when we feel there's no rush to the golf swing. It's almost as though we're kind of waiting for it. Now, one of my favourite drills is called the wait for it drill, and what it is this. I take my setup, and what I do is I'm going to make a backswing, and then I pause, and I'm waiting for it. And then what I do is I make a couple of pumps. I go 1, 2, and then hit it on 3. A little bit like this. Pause, 1, 2, 3. A couple of things happen. Actually, I might use that out on the golf course. I wouldn't recommend doing it out on the golf course, just on the range. But a couple of things happen. It slows you down. It makes you complete your backswing. You wait for it, and your sequencing improves unbelievably. Now, when we play our best golf, we're never in a rush. When we play our worst, we feel as though we're going to try and hammer it all the time. And if you watch the guys on tour, they're going at it really hard. So try this drill. It'll slow you down. You'll make better contact and play more consistent golf.
That was an absolute beauty. And I'm just talking about that selfishly because my sequencing is all over the joint. And you know what happens to me? And I see it all the time. My hips go early, and then because I'm old, they don't keep going. Right. And then I get the old man, my left knee through the old man left knee because my hips have stalled and then I've got nowhere to go. But every once in a while, I will just nail one and I just feel like, you know, a Rory McIlroy finish, rock solid. And I know that's from sequencing, getting the sequencing right.
Sequencing, the transition is so important. And I know I tend to just rush on the backswing from that top and then I'm done basically. But that drill, what it does is it gets you turning on the way back, number one, so you get a nice full turn. Now, whether you can turn more than most, it's really up to you. You can lift your left heel off the ground if you want. That'll increase the turn. Move your left hip a bit more for right-handed golfers. But then those little couple of pumps, just the 1, 2, then that sequences it beautifully on the way down and can only help.
The one thing you mentioned in there too, you spoke about time. And I know the best shots that I've ever hit, you were right.
You feel like you got all the time in the world.
I felt like I had plenty of time. So you don't need to jump at it and do all the craziness. You just need the sequence. Anyway, great masterclass.
I don't want to bring down what's been a lovely masterclass, but did I see your thumb over the camera in that, Mark?
Maybe a few times.
I mean, the camera work, typically when Nick does it, is pretty good, but the camera work this time.
I offered to get the thumb out just with some nice little editing, but obviously you've used the old footage just to nail me.
Right.
It's about time.
I'm still a bit more professional than that, to be honest.
I'll just jot that down.
Obviously, we're
that I owe both of you.
dropping the stand. I think dropping the standards is pretty...
Folks, we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Talk Birdie to Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen comes live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist is the clear number one ball in golf. FootJoy, the number one shoe and glove in golf. Ping, they'll help you play your best. Watch my numbers, play smarter and use your data. Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. And the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Wherever you listen or watch, we'd love you to subscribe and maybe leave a review. Talk Birdie to Me's executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media, with sound design by Daryl Misson at loudzebra.com. And now from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, that's been Talk Birdie to Me.